Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and today I'm covering the Fall Major Tournament. This is going to be the Pro Division qualifying round. I want to say thanks to everybody for being patient and waiting for me to get the content up and available. Yesterday was just a super busy day at work, so I had to wait till day 2, which I very rarely do. But all in all, shot a minus 14 on this account. I think I've got a minus 15 though when you take a look at the drops. I'm almost positive I do, maybe even better when we get to the replays. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. That's awesome. Everybody hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And I hope that you like the content that I have for you today. If that's the case, please take a moment there to hit the thumbs up button and give the video a like. Okay. This course, to me, it's very challenging. It is definitely making me rack my brain on what to do. But here we're going to go with hole number 1, and I'm trying to keep everything simple as far as this walkthrough goes. Although a lot of these holes, if you're good with sliders, you're going to have a significant leg up over the competition. But I'm going to stay away from sliders today. I'm just going to show you how to play it straight up and get you the best case scenario that we can. 6 top, 3 bars of side spin to the left. As far as the drive goes, you can see here, I'm essentially trying to aim down the middle of the fairway. You can see that all of my white ring is in the rough, and a little bit of the transparent ring in the rough as well, if you're looking for the landmarks to use. Now, I did use a little bit of overpower here, which you saw. I am trying to get some decent yards on this drive, but I also did cap myself out at the 6 bars of topspin to try to keep this more relative to a lot of extra mile 8 players. So now that's going to leave me with a 10% at mid-distance shot. So I played this one 10% at mid. Just make sure you check the distance of your club. But here's what we're going to really be looking at to try to get this ball to go into the hole. We're going to go ahead and set our spins, and then we're going to take a look at the landing position. So notice here that I'm using half a bar of side spin to the right, because this is going to be important. So half a bar of side spin to the right with a little bit more than 2 back. So we'll call that 2.1 back, half a bar right. It is weird using right side spin when the wind is already blowing to the right. But, you know, via practice, it was really the only way I could get this ball to come close to the hole. And notice that I'm leaving the ball guideline right at the pin, just short. I'm 2 for 4 on perfect shots, just to give everybody a heads up. So it's not the most consistent play. So yesterday when I was practicing pro, I made it on 1 account, so 1 for 2, and then 1 for 2 again today with perfect shots. You see there that the ball does fall into the right-hand side for an eagle on hole number 1, and that takes us to hole number 2. I would like to give a shout out to somebody who actually sent me this shot via Facebook. So Doug sent me this shot and said that he had practiced it quite a bit and was able to get it down. And I do like the funnel on the back of the green here. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fast forward just a little bit to show you the landing spot, because it took me a little bit of practice to get it down. Here's the top spin. We're going to go with about 0.7 top. The top spin is important because you want to catch the slope at the top of the green and then find the funnel to bring us back down towards the green. So apply your top spin first, and then you'll be faster than me because you'll get to see the landing spot. Okay, so 0.7 top, and then take a look at the orange ring. It's right here against the rough line, and then you can kind of see the ball guide line is coming down towards the pin. So 0.7 top, put that orange ring at the rough line. Oh, the other thing I want to call out here is notice that we're not playing high up on the slope. This is where I was messing up the first time. If you can reference those dark green squares, I know it's very difficult to, but just take a look that we're not playing super high up by the fringe. We're playing a little bit lower than the fringe. After I got that figured out, this shot was dropping pretty darn consistently. I even hit a minor great shot and it still went into the hole for a hole-in-one. So I think the funnel here is strong. Perfect ball. Comes in dead center, hole-in-one on hole number 2. So if you get lucky, you might be able to start off with a -4 through the first 2 holes, and you'd be really cooking in a tournament like this. This hole's difficult, okay? We're going to go ahead and use a berserker just to try to make this hole easier, and by no means is it easy at all, but we're going to go 10% max, and then do not overpower your shot. I cannot stress that enough. Do not overpower your shot. You'll be able to do this with any level APOC, so don't get worried. For me here, I did full topspin -1 bar. I tried to keep it, again, relatable to lower level APOC players. But you'll see here, now we're going to go with full curl to the left. But it's super important you don't overpower this, and you're going to see why. Because when we hit a perfect ball here, you're going to notice that we land down right here on the fairway. We don't have much room to overpower the shot. So if you accidentally overpower, you're probably going to end up driving the rough. But here, this is all we're looking to do. We just land on the fairway, and shot number 2 is going to be looking like this. Direct headwind, which is why we're using a P5 ball. We're going to go with as much top spin as possible, combined with as much left side spin as possible. And then we're going to just be aiming over here to the right-hand side of the sand trap, okay? We're playing over the rough. Here we do overpower the shot a little bit. So you can see I left myself about 2.5 to 3 rings of overpower between the fairway and the rough. Perfect ball. And again, all we're trying to do here is just make sure we land on the fairway up here. That's it. And then shot number 3, we're going to go with a full top spin approach. You can play it however you want. If you're good with the end bringer, you can play the end bringer rule. For me, on these type of shots where I have almost direct headwind, I get kind of lazy. I just go full top spin, and you're going to see here, I just offset to the right-hand side of the cup. And I know that that minor wind push is going to push me back towards the cup, and then the ball should go in. But take note here that I almost missed this one to the left-hand side. So if you're going to be lazy like me, I would go ahead and go full top spin. I'll just show you. If you're going to be lazy like me, I would go full top spin. And you see here how I have the ball guide line touching the inside of the cup. I would just put the ball guide line fully outside of the cup, and then it should be more dead center, okay? Hole number 4, 20% at max. This one, again, is not one, for me, that I'm finding any sort of consistency on. I am going to show you the hole-in-one, but by no means, if you hit a perfect ball, is this ball going in the hole more times than not, because I hit a lot of perfect shots with the same type of setup, and, you know, sometimes it went in, sometimes it didn't. Now, we want to find minimum distance line, though, with a power 3 ball. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you have something like a Grizzly in your bag, just a less powerful long iron, so that you can find the minimum distance line. Because if you have a Goliath, you won't find the minimum distance line on your sniper. So make sure you change your bag. So here, all we're trying to do is find minimum distance. And the reason we're doing that is because that's the easiest way to try to dial in a shot when you can find a minimum distance line on a hole like this. We're going to go ahead and go with 2.5 bars of side spin to the left, combined with a little bit of backspin, just a little bit. The backspin is going to vary depending on the wind strength. If you're going to come in here and get like 6.5 mile per hour wind, you might go with no back at all, maybe like 0.1 instead of 0.3 like I'm doing here on 4.8 mile per hour wind. And we'll show you the landing spot too. See, I wish the game would get rid of the opponent's icon. How frustrating is that? So anyways, you apply your spin, you find minimum distance line, and you're going to notice down here my red ring, or orange ring, whatever you want to call it, is sort of by the rough. Get rid of that thing. Now take a look at the end of my ball guide line. Notice that dark green vertical row of squares. Notice how I'm playing to the right-hand side of that. If you're good at pushing rings, you could push here instead of pulling into the sand. That's probably the more ideal way to play it. Here I hit a perfect ball, and we'll take a look at how the ball rolls and comes in. Left-hand side, kind of center left. If anything, you end up missing the shot to the left for some reason. So, you could even try to offset just a slight more to the right-hand side of that dark green row. If I did not make it, then I was missing to the left. I hope that makes sense. So that's hole number 4. This is just a tough tournament, everybody. It is really difficult, in my opinion. All right, hole number 5. This hole is not fun at all, but this is the best way that I found to play it. 6 top, half a bar of side spin to the left with a Titan ball, because we are getting tailwind and we want to keep that tailwind push. This is what we want the ball guideline looking like. We want that slight, obviously hop onto the fairway. Lower level extra mile players, go ahead and use a berserker, all right? Just make sure that you're using the rough bump rollout on this hole. Here we hit a perfect shot. And all we're doing is wanting to clip that rough and roll out. As long as you land on this fairway, you're good. You can use whatever club you want to on shot number 2. You can use the Grizzly. You can use the Goliath. I suggest the Goliath because you can see here I'm at max distance of my Grizzly. If you have the Goliath in the bag here, you're going to get a little bit more power, making shot number 2 a little bit easier. You can see here I'm going with a significant offset to the right-hand side. At the end of the day, I am in no way looking to pick up the albatross on this hole. If I get it, I'll take it as super lucky. But here, I'm just trying to get an eagle and just get on out of here and move on to hole number 6. We come in a little hot, need some more backspin. But again, like I said, I wasn't trying to dial that one in. I was just trying to get my eagle and then move on to this hole. Now, on this one, we're going to have a great chance to pick up an eagle here. We're going to go with 6 top, 2 bars of side spin to the right. I'm putting my red ring right there on the rough line. We make our pull for the wind. Now this one I do pick up the eagle on, so maybe I had a lot of replays with drops. I wish I could have shot it like this. It's going to be like the rough bump here and then like the rough bump on hole 9, that if you're good with sliders, you'll have an advantage. But here we're going to play at 10% at mid. I would definitely bring the Goliath as the power is nice. So you see when I was way up there on the green, I was in plus yardage. When I move it even further down into the rough, I'm pretty far away from plus yardage. So for me, I just played it 10% at mid. And then I think it's best to try to set your spins and then figure out where you want to go from there. The one consistent thing that I would do if you're taking notes is I would always play this one 2 bars of side spin to the right. Just get that out of the way to keep that easy. And then it's about finding the top spin to get yourself through the hole just like this. So center of the hole, 2 bars of side spin to the right combined with enough top spin. And then also, like, I think it's very important because the details are going to matter so much on this tournament. So I'm sorry that I'm taking so much longer, but the details are super important. Take a look at my yellow ring. My yellow ring is fully inside the rough. Half of my red ring in the rough, half of my red ring on the fairway. That's going to be really important when you're trying to mimic a shot. And again, this is going to fall for some people. For some people, it's not. It's just going to depend on, if you're basically at exact mid, pretty much like I feel like I am here, which is how I played it, and it went in. All right. That'll take us to hole number 7. Hole number 7 is another hole in which we're finding minimum distance on. Now, this is going to be done with a quarterback. So you'll be fine to find minimum distance with the P3 ball. Pretty easy. We're going to go 3 bars of side spin to the left. combined with about 3.5 backspin. Now, we're going to take note of this shot because, to me, I feel like I have it right. I just hit a great shot. I hit several perfects in practice, but I didn't feel like I had the landing position correct. For me, minimum distance, and then the blue ring right here is not touching the sand line. It's pretty darn close, but there's a little bit of green between the blue ring and the sand line. Ball guide line left-hand side of the hole. I wanted to try to put the blue ring on the sand line to make the reference point easier for everybody, but every time I did that, the ball was missing to the left. I truly believe that this is the right landing position. And I just wish I would have hit perfect here on this one because this was my last attempt at it. You see here that I hit a very minor great left, so of course I'm going to miss to the left. But if we take a look, I mean, I think speed is really good. And look, we just burned the left-hand side of the cup. So very, very close on hole number 7. Try to duplicate that and hit perfect and let me know how you do. Hopefully it goes in. All right, that's going to be hole number 8. Obviously, need to get my quarterback out, get my extra mile back out. 6 top, 3 bars of side spin to the right. Here you'll see I'm just sort of aiming down the middle of that skinny part of the fairway. This hole I'm not a fan of yet. I'm burning through tokens at a rapid rate. Great drive, but that's okay. Here we're just trying to just land on the fairway. Now the thing about this shot is if you go with more top spin, which I tried, you can get a backspin shot to the sniper to pin. If you go with less top spin like I did, then you can kind of play the bounce up shot. And the bounce up shot seems to be more consistent because you can see here we're getting a flicker of headwind. So we're going to have to apply top spin and then back our target up. Now there was a spot on the fairway in which I applied some top spin like this, like 3.5 bars, 3 bars, and 3 bars of side spin to the left. There was a better consistent landing spot on one of my other accounts, but I hit a nasty great shot. So I'm showing this one. It does seem like we need the offset to the left-hand side of the cup, but here I believe I just come in too fast. So, I don't have a really good strategy yet on hole number 8. I have one more pro account to play tomorrow. Very, very bad luck on that account as I'm having severe internet issues today, and I timed out twice on that account. No fault to the game at all. Just my home internet stinks so bad. So I'm in the struggle bus on my other pro account. I'll have to qualify tomorrow. So wish me some good luck there. But anyways, my hole number 8 philosophy is I have to figure it out tomorrow. All right, hole number 9. Now this one does give us a good chance here for the Albatross. You can see I'm playing Radu here. Hopefully he had a good round today. We're going to go with the rock on this drive because of the curl, to be honest. We're going to go 4 top, 2 bars of side spin to the left, starting off with our blue ring right there on the rough line. Here we just make our wind pull. It's always high rings on this club, which I don't like. No overpower, full curl to the left. So basically the same way we're playing the drive on hole number 3. Do not overpower your shot. All right? We don't need a ton of distance. This is all we need to do right here is get onto the fairway, because if we do this, like I said, we're going to have a really, really nice chance to pick up an Alba. Here I play at 10% at mid. I mean, I'm almost dead mid of my club, so I felt like that felt pretty good. And then I'm going to apply my spins and then just try to get this thing into the hole. Again, just to make it easy, we're going to play 2 bars of side spin to the right. So 2 bars of side spin to the right, and then we're just going to find enough top spin to get our ball into the hole. And we do want to catch a lot of the rough. And what I mean by that is we're going to put most of our target in the rough. You're going to notice here I'm putting my red ring at the top of the rough line. That's going to really help us deaden the ball and get a good consistent roll to the pin. This is nice low wind too. 5.8 is pretty lucky to get with a Titan ball. You know, we could experience something in the high sixes, low sevens, so I'm pretty happy to get the 5.8, and that helps me get this thing dead center for the Albatross. Hey, that's it, everybody. I'll do my best to qualify my other pro tomorrow. I appreciate you waiting. Best of luck. As for me, this is very difficult. I'd love to hear from a lot of you and let me know how you shoot. Thanks, everybody.